Okay, everybody, today we're going to talk about food aggression again, and how I believe that there are a lot of cases in that we cause the horses to be behaviorally inappropriate. I've got a bag of carrots here. I'm going to take this with me to the fence line here that we're at the arena, and I've got 4 horses in there, and I think that by me moving this and jiggling around, it's going to draw them over. We haven't done anything, haven't given any carrots. They have no idea we have carrots unless they can somehow smell them. But this is going to be the start of what I believe is common. It's a very common thing. You wander over to a paddock or over to an arena and you want to give apples and carrots, and how we give them the impression that we are movable. And as such, they should move in really close, and that then feels like what we refer to as food aggression. So let's get started, and we'll see what the horses do when I go up to the arena. That did not take long. Okay, so we've all got them coming over. I've got my carrots here. Right. So far I still feel a little safe, but they're getting a little close, so I'm gonna back up off the fence. Maybe a little more. So you guys are getting really close. It feels unsafe. Now, at this point, I am not directing any of the horses. The fence is directing the horses. So if this fence wasn't here, I would still be backing up my driveway, because I don't have any tool to say, no, you're getting too close, you're too pushy. Now, they're all, I wouldn't call this too bad, but this is a lot in my space. I would consider this the start of where we get to how they push more and more and more. So the fence line itself gets borrowed for us as humans to control the horses when we have something so yummy delicious as carrots. And then what even reinforces it more is that people will feed them from back here instead of the position they started at, which was the fence line. Ronnie, you got a piece of hair in your eyeball. Again. Just getting hair in there. So what I would encourage people, if you can think when you're doing it, is that the fence line is yours. And if you were to have enough trouble having them back off, you could just do that. And then if they leave, how opportunistic of you. If they leave, get really quiet and be pretty good about not doing anything further or really acknowledging that they've left. And instead, the hitting of the fence is really just you hitting the fence. It's just a fence. It's okay to make a little noise. If they all leave and back off and get off of my fence, because this I would consider part of my space, not to be overly commanding or bossy per se, but just, you're getting too close, it makes me uncomfortable. I know I have food, I like carrots too, but it doesn't mean that you can come in and push on my fence. And so I'm gonna borrow the fence a little to say, hey, just back off and kind of go away. I'll come to you. And that, I believe, is one of the things that gets to where if I didn't have this fence, if I was on this side, I won't have this fence to protect me or give me my safe bubble. And then I just rely on myself. So a lot of people will feed at fences because they know, logically or not, or consciously or not, that the fence can be a good protecting, because they know horses are going to come up and lean all the way over and try to get some food. And instead, of coming in and saying, hey, can you just back up a bit and I promise I'll give you a carrot. And I think in spaces like this, wide spaces, open spaces, is where we can teach both good and bad behaviors quite effectively. And then finally, a carrot. And I will reach to them to give them that carrot. I will reach over to them to say that it's okay. And I think that is a really effective way of trying to deal with pushy, or as we call them, food aggressive horses. So I'm going to switch now. I'm going to come back outside and I'm going to hang off of my fence again. And because I've sort of taught a little bit that if they kind of come in too close, I might get a bit big and loud, and then I'll just look away and maybe I'll look at the clouds a little or see if there's any birds flying around or something and tune out a bit. And just have them be patient, because patience is fine. Horses need to learn patience a lot. And we've got the two in the back staying quite calm over there. It's fantastic. The next step I might think about, if I was really working on horses that were super pushy, is that I would first have them off the fence, and then I would come in and make a little safety and protect my fence even. Instead of my fence protecting me, I would protect my fence by being here. And if you needed a rope or a halter, that's okay too. You could wave that in the air. My horses are pretty good. If I come in and I start getting bigger, they'll back up and back off. What I'd like to do is make it over to Roni and Lena, so I'm going to push Luke out of the way a little. I might pet him briefly if I can reach him a little more. Maybe I kind of can physically ask. Roni's come up asking. I don't have my fence. I only have me. Maybe I'll back off, see if he comes in, And this is where food aggression is perceived by us, where I'm backing off because he's coming in too fast. And I might say, nah, everybody back up. And you could hit your legs. You can make a little noise and then maybe a touch and just say, wait. That's a long reach. I'd like him not to reach. I might say, back up, back up. That's a lot of patience. I'll reach out to him to give him one. You've been quite good. You get a little piece. You still got to get to Lena. Now Lena's been fantastic way at the back there. So I'm going to go all the way to her through these guys. With any luck, I've taught them all to give me space by now, otherwise I wouldn't do that. So I might say, you back up, and then I'll make it all the way over to Lena. And she gets a carrot. Now with my back turned, it's a big deal. Roni's getting in too much. I might say, hey, you need to keep on going backwards. And I could even come back to my fence and just rest on it on this side, because this is my space. That's a lot of ears. I'd prefer not to have those ears. I like the boys' ears. So she would be what many would refer to as probably the worst. But I don't worry too much about it as long as I'm being effective in a little way. If I have to get a little louder and send her further for safety purposes, I will. And then I just keep working patiently. So you back up. I'm not paying attention to you right now. I'd like to reward her or give her encouragement. I'd like her to stop raising her head, put her ears back, because she is worried. The idea is that she's worried. So now we're dealing with a different problem, not food aggression or something like that. It's that I'm going to, give the idea that I might kick or hurt. You guys take off. Stay. So now we're just going to deal with Gracie for a second. I'd like her to back up a little quieter. She hasn't got there yet. That's not bad. It's a little bit better. If she reaches towards me, I'll reach to her. And then I'll teach her a little bit more that if she allows me, stop it. That's too much. It's too much spatial sort of infiltration. It makes me uncomfortable, and they know it. But in the end, that's how you might solve the problem. But in the end, I think it starts kind of being at this fence line and trying to make it your own a little bit at the start. But then when they start to come in, you get worried and back up, and then they'll come in and they'll keep on going until finally they're leaning on the fence and pressuring the fence and pushing on the fence, and then you're wondering if the fence is going to break. And now, a little better. And it's harder with multi-horses too. I should actually say that with just one horse, it might be a heck of a lot easier. But with a bunch of horses, it's going to be harder because they'll be talking to each other on who's going to get the carrots. It's a competition. So, there you go. Back up. Wait. Waiting for her to get quiet again. One of the things that I think Gracie is thinking about is not being sent far away where she'll have no chance of getting anything. Back up, you just got a carrot. So she's going to want to tell me no. And maybe I can pet her a little. Maybe I can't. You are most definitely in the way, buddy. You're going to have to back up far, 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 far away. Hello. It's a lot of words. But there, she's being influenced by Lena and sent on her way. So we have to consider doing multi-horse training. I think it's very good. It's the first time Lena's approached so much. She's quite quiet and careful. It's a long reach with forward ears. But I might say, hey, it's a little much. Stay over there. And Gracie will learn from this. She will learn by watching the other horses as well. Anyways, this has gotten a bit long. We've gotten into more than this than I would have probably liked to, but it's a good demonstration of how I might deal with this in a way that is teaching the horses to allow this space here to be safer for me. And now I'll just stand back and stay over there. And maybe I can hold that space without being in it. And there'll be a whole pile of patient horses. And then I'll come in, I'll say one for you, and one for you. The big one, good luck. And that kind of concludes a little bit of food training. I don't have any more. They're all gone. That's it. Borrowing the fence. Hopefully that makes some sense. If there's any questions or thoughts or anything, let me know anytime. And I'll see if I can answer. So, thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one.